Ladies and gentlemen, did you enjoy your break? Did you get some much needed rest from anime? Because yes, winter is coming. Anyone who's been keeping a pulse on anime knows that the winter 2026 anime season is looking to be the hypest season since, well, the summer 2025. I guess I didn't really expect for that punchline to fall so flat. Fall was just pretty weak. Well, yes, most of what is anticipated for winter is centered around returners. There's still a ton to be excited for. We're getting anime Planet of the Apes. Dark Gathering is getting a prequel with Kaya-chan. He's rage baiting to save his sister. Reincarnated as a Pokemon. The perfect waifu is here, and she cleans. Your seasonal CGI scare. This chick sprouts mushrooms. We get another season of watching oshinoko while the sources complain about the ending of the manga. We're taking bets now if we're actually going to get a full season of Fate Strange Fake. Highly doubt it. MAPPA fans get to spend all season looking through socials of anyone working on Hell's Paradise and Jujutsu Kaisen at the same time to find any calls for help. And the award for the worst titled anime goes to Don't Think Someone Like You Could Defeat the Demon Lord. I was told that as I was kicked out of the hero's party, so now I want to live a carefree life with the king. Yes, that's a title. TRIGUN returns with Best Girl Millie. The Worm Picker is back. Chain Shoulder returns for more lewd punishment games. She accidentally lost her virginity to a robot. Oh look, X-Arm's back in feudal Japan. Please give me more Nun Nekotamaki. Wincest. Rabbit, Bird, Mermaid, Werewolf, Monster Girls are back. Dungeon diving with my Daughteru. And finally, we're not just getting one adorable Demon Lord, but yes, 2 adorable Demon Lords in one season. Jokes real aside, I've combed through all 66 currently listed titles and come up with my most anticipated new and returning shows of the winter season. So let's just dive right into it. Starting things off with the returners. Without a doubt, the most anticipated show for me for the entirety of the season, returners or not, is Frieren Beyond Journey's End. I cannot wait for season 2. I did an entire I don't know, it was like a 20-minute analysis on like a minute and a half trailer for season 2, and I'm just beyond hype. Yes, I do have my concerns around the idea that we lost Keiichiro Saito as the director, but he's supposed to be working alongside the actual director that's going to be taking over, and that director worked as episode director for the first season. So I still have my hope. I'm not gonna doom and gloom like some people are already doing just because they changed directors. It's still the same studio. It's still the same staffers. It's just a little bit of a shift in directors. I still have a lot of hope for this series. I absolutely love it. I love the storytelling about, Frieren and her, again, journey through the hero's party's path and revisiting all those memories that she had from her travels with the hero Himmel. And it's so good. My second most anticipated, I think, for the entire season is easily Medalist. I cannot wait for season 2 of Medalist. I loved season 1. I loved Inori's story, seeing her fight to become a skater and all the difficulties that she goes through because she started so late. It's really kind of an underdog story that you just want to root for these characters. And the other thing that I love so much about the story so far is that even if it's not Inori, at the front stage, if it's some other character that's taken the rank, I cheer for them too. This is one of those stories that no matter who hits the rank, I just want to support them. And it does help the fact that they've been doing, even though it is CGI with the actual performances, they've been doing an absolutely incredible job with the actual capture, doing full motion capture, and then converting that into the actual style they have that looks really, really good for it. Of course, we also have Oshinoko returning. Oshinoko Season 3, massively hyped for it. Really do love this series. Love the first season. The second season had a little bit of a dip point, but overall it came back for me, and it left me on a note where I'm like, please, more. I want more. I cannot wait for the series to come back. Absolutely love the drama. Love the insights into the entertainment industry that this writer has done. He's truly a genius. Definitely knows the entertainment industry in and out. Knows the disgusting sides of it. And I love getting in that nitty-gritty of it. Really hyped to see My Hero Academia coming back. Vigilante. I've really loved the first season of the series. I think it's a nice refresh of the My Hero Academia series. Really do like what this writer is doing with the characters. Really kind of pulling it back from the crazy big epic fights that's world ending. And let's get it back to, just some people taking down bad guys again. I've been really enjoying it so far. Love my Pop Step. Can't wait to see her as well. It looks like this season we might be getting more into Eraserhead, which is kind of interesting, but I'm super hyped for it. And of course, yes, we have Jujutsu Kaisen coming back. I've never been a massive fan of Jujutsu Kaisen. I'm actually planning on possibly doing a rewatch before this next season comes out. See if possibly it clicks for me this time, because I do want to enjoy it as much as everybody else does. It's like one of those series where I like it, but I'm not feeling the hype like everybody else is. So I'm kind of wondering if I should rewatch it and see if I can hopefully jump on that train that I've missed this entire time. Fire Force Season 3 Part 2, that one's coming back as well. Looking forward to that. I'm not a massive fan. I like my Tamaki though. Looking forward to more cooking on Tamaki's butt. We'll see. Then we have Trigun Stargaze. Really hyped to see this one come back, mainly around the fact that it's going to now have Millie. Millie was like my favorite character of the old series, and at the end of the first season, we finally get to see Millie pop up, so I am actually really happy to see this series come back, just because I really like Millie. We'll see though. They've been doing a good job of it so far. Hell's Paradise Season 2, that one's coming back as well. I really love the art style of this series. I do like a lot of the character stories they've done so far, but I do have to admit that the island itself hasn't been the most interesting storylines around that. It's been mostly around the main guy. So hopefully it expands more and it gets more interesting on the island itself. Chain Soldier, we'll see. I think I mostly watched Chain Soldier just because of the punishment games they had. For those who don't know, it's a story about a guy who's like, controlled by this other girl, and then at the end of helping her, she has to do like a punishment game for him. Whatever he desires mentally, she's forced to do, and it's always something perverted. It's okay. And yes, finally, apparently, Fate Strange Fake. Like I keep saying, I'll believe it when we actually see the entire thing air. I'm still convinced at this point that we'll probably only get 4 episodes of it, and then it'll go on hiatus again for another year, but we'll see. But apparently this show is supposed to be airing. If it does air the entire thing, this will probably be my favorite show of the season. I absolutely love the series so far. I think this writer is brilliant. It's the writer of Bacano and da-da-da-da. I love his writing, but I'm sick of this delays. Like, the delays are killing any and all hype and love I have for the show. So hopefully they finally air it this time. And that's it for the returners that I'm hyped for. Let's get into the new series. The ones that nobody knows about, that you want to get some information on, let's dive into it. First things first, Sentenced to be a Hero. This show, my gosh, looks so good. The PV for this show looks chef kiss. Now, there's a side that I'm kind of cautiously coming into the show because Studio Kai is working on it, and I'm not really knowing Studio Kai for being like Sakaga. So there could be a chance this is their breakout. This is the one that they're going to do some crazy, incredible stuff with, and this is going to be their big hit. We'll have to wait and see. Sometimes these PVs look really good, and it's all the really good cuts that they put in there, and the rest of the show doesn't look that great. The synopsis is, hero is the worst punishment in the world. For those convicted of heinous crimes, they are sentenced to become a hero, and forced to enter the mandatory military service in the war against the demon lords. These convicts are not even allowed to die. If they're killed, they are resurrected to fight another day. Hero Xylo Forbarts? Former head of the Order of the Holy Knights, leads a penal unit of deplorables fighting on the front lines. It's in these direst of the circumstances that he meets Tierreta, one of the world's strongest weapons. When every last enemy has been defeated, you are to shower me with praise and a pat on my head, she says. In order to survive and to take revenge on those who wronged him, he makes a pact with the goddess and launches headfirst into the maelstrom of war and intrigue. Like I said, the PV looks phenomenal, and yes, we get to see this little magical weapon chick. She's so freaking great. That's kind of one of the reasons I do love it. You have this guy, again, he's sentenced for this. He's having to fight the front lines. The monsters they're fighting are insane, and again, the battles are incredible. And then suddenly out of nowhere, this girl just shows up, and she's got this OP magic, and I'm like, yeah, okay, I'm sold. I'm sold. It looks great. It's got an OP lolly character. Let's go. I'm on board. Let's go. Nothing really too big on the credits for this one. We do have the director that worked on Shinkiro, which of course is the Yuri like Marin and Gargura MV. So if you like that music video, there you go. There's a pedigree there. And the creator's only other credits are Scum of Brave, which is another show that's being adapted this season. So they got 2 shows adapting this season. But yeah, we'll see. For my next show, I have You and I Are Polar Opposites. This one is Suzuki's a high school girl in love, but the guy that she's fallen for is nothing like her. While she's cheerful, outgoing, and always trying to fit in, her classmate, Yusuke Tani, is stoic, quiet, and doesn't seem to care what people think of him. Will Suzuki be able to overcome her anxieties and ask him out? Or will she discover that opposites really don't attract? This show, I took a while before I finally put it on my list, I'll be perfectly honest. But I just watched the PV again, and it's like, there's something about this girl. Like, I think overall it's like a very typical, like, one girl's after the other, and then eventually you'll probably find out the other side likes them, but they're a little shy or whatever. But she's a total dork. I'm just drawn to the show because the main girl is a total gyaru dork. Like, she's constantly flustered, she's constantly overthinking things. You know, there's a big dramatic moment where she's rushing off to go get him, and she's just flustering over herself to try to run. She just looks like a fail girl. And that stuff typically does, yes, honestly, draw me in. So, if anything, I'll probably just like watching her just be a failure. For next one, this is one that I was very hesitant to put on my list, and that's mainly around the idea that I'm not getting too much grab me so far besides extremely cute girls, which is enough for a lot of people, but for me, I just need a little more. This one is Tune In to the Midnight Heart. When Arisu Yamabuki was all alone in bed one night, he was able to find solace in the voice of a radio host who went by Apollo. However, one day, she simply stopped broadcasting without an explanation. Years then passed, and Arisu is now a second-year high schooler. He makes it his mission to search for Apollo, as there was something he wants to tell her. Yeah, it's one of these stories, guys. His entire life and mission is to find one girl he listened on a broadcast. He doesn't know what she looks like, or even what her real name is, but he managed to get some lead on her in his high school broadcasting club. That's where he meets 4 girls who all dream to get a job where they can make full use of their voices. Just who is Apollo? And how will those 4 dreams pan out? A story that's all centered around something that happened in the past, and there's 4 girls, and he's got to somehow figure out which one is the one that had that voice. I don't know, this is one of those moments where I'm like, it should be extremely obvious if you hear them talk. I mean, yes, typically when people do broadcast or talk, they do sometimes change their voice a lot. That might be the case there, but the girls look really cute. One's like into, I think, music, one's into broadcast, one is into ASMR. So they each have like their own different thing they do. So that's sort of an intriguing thing there. I think the big plus that I have though, and which did ultimately send me over the edge of putting this on my list, was the fact that the creator of this original source material did Senru Girl. Now, they also did Detective These Days Are Crazy, and that show didn't really do well for me, but I'm hoping now getting back to more of a rom-com type of show like Senru Girl, that's probably going to be more in their boat. So we'll see. Moving on to my next one, winter is going to be a season of some really big hitters from Netflix, one of them being Love Through a Prism. Set at a London art academy in the opening decade of the 1900s, the series follows Lady Ichijoin, a girl enchanted by painting, as she chases her dream and experiences youth. This ensemble coming-of-age story about young people striving for prismatic radiance against the odds is about to begin. Okay, I have to admit, kind of a crappy synopsis. It's kind of a crappy synopsis, but stick with me here. First thing first, Wit Studio. This PV looks beautiful. Has a story about the girl kind of going this one location. She ends up spotting some guy and he's drawing with chalk or whatever. She ends up going this one place with the art academy, and suddenly he pops up and he's like this very important person. It looked really, really beautiful. Very long PV, but I really liked visually what I was seeing. Definitely capturing the style, the aesthetic of the actual setting and everything. The other thing here is the creator, the person that's writing this original, and that is Yoko Kamio. Yoko Kamio is the creator of Boys Over Flowers. Now, I've never actually watched or read Boys Over Flowers, but I've heard a lot of positive things about it. And with this kind of being the same wheelhouse, I have a lot of hope and expectations that this will hopefully turn out really well. Either way, PV's looking good. I have a lot of hope for it. Moving on to my next one, the Demon King's daughter is too kind. She's absolutely adorable, by the way. The Demon King Ahriman. He reigns above all in hell. Together with powerful demons, he seeks to conquer the entire world. However, the Demon King's halted his world conquest for a certain troubling matter. His daughter, Do, is too kind. I watched the PV for this and I'm like, oh my gosh, this girl, she's so freaking cute. Yes, technically this season we also have the return of 'Tis Time for Torture Princess. And with that one, they do technically have a demon lord with a daughter that's super cute too. So these two are going to be battling with each other, but she's super adorable in this PV, and yes, technically they have like all these other individuals that are supposed to be assisting her, I'm guessing to become more evil, and they're all failures. You have like this one chick, this blondie, that she's like always messing up, and then you have like the succubus girl that's with her as well, and she seems like a failure succubus. It looks like it's gonna be a lot of fun, at the same time being extremely cute. Then you have, naturally, the seiyuu for the Demon Lord's daughter is Misaki Kuno, and she is like the perfect person for their voice like that. She's got that really cutesy voice. I'm looking forward to it. It looks like a lot of fun. For my next one, honestly, I put this on my list because it's been a long time since we've had a really solid Monster Girl show, and I've had a desire for a Monster Girl show, and now it's here. A Misanthrope teaches a class for Demi-Humans. Yes, a show about a guy teaching a bunny girl, a bird girl, a werewolf, and a mermaid. Rie Hitoma is a former school teacher and a self-professed misanthrope due to his past trauma. Hoping to live a slow, relaxing life, he takes a new teaching job in the mountains. But it turns out that this place is actually an all-girls school for demi-humans who want to become full-fledged human beings. I'm kind of curious what that means. I mean, my assumption there is that they're probably coming there to learn about humans so they can live amongst humans. Like, you know, get rid of their bunny girl desires and being a mermaid desires, learning how humans actually act, or do they want to turn into humans? I'm assuming it's just to be able to act around humans. But anyways, I'm all for it. I really, really loved Interview with Monster Girls. I really wish they would give a season 2 of Interview with Monster Girls. But this kind of gives that same feeling there, though it seems like the guy just absolutely hates humans. So he's probably going to be constantly yelling and being mad about the fact that they want to become humans when he hates humans so much. We'll see if that gets annoying. That's probably my only fear that I have is how annoying the main guy is going to be. But again, we have a cute bunny girl and a cute werewolf girl, cute mermaid and bird girl. I'm surprised there's no centaur girl. They usually have a centaur girl, but I'm looking forward to it. They look super cute. For our next one, Kaya-chan isn't scary. Kaya-chan is an infamous problem child in kindergarten. However, when Chie-sensei is assigned to look after her, she finds out that Kaya has an ability, presenting to you the strongest horror action series set in kindergarten. What a stupid synopsis. It was just so funny because when I seen this, and I made the joke at the very beginning of this video, when I first seen this, I'm like, this looks like Dark Gathering. For those that missed Dark Gathering, incredible series, by the way, please go watch it. It has this girl that absolutely beats the crap out of yokai, and she actually manipulates the hell out of them. And this girl looks like her. And so I was like, oh my gosh, it's that. And I made the joke. But then I find out that the director worked on Dark Gathering. And I'm like, oh my gosh, this is totally Dark Gathering. Like through and through, this is Dark Gathering. But no, it looks super weird, super interesting. Has this girl that absolutely just beats the crap out of horrific things, and everybody's just watching her as she's doing her thing. Very curious how it turns out, what the story's actually going to be about, but it's got me. From the PV, it's got me. It doesn't look incredibly great, which is kind of par for the course for this director, and I'm assuming they probably chose this director because he did so well with Dark Gathering, despite them not having a great budget. But we'll see. We'll see. And my next one, we have The Holy Grail of Eris. As a Viscount's daughter, Constance Grail is an ordinary girl whose only notable trait is sincerity, leaving her with no real problems when someone steals her fiancé and falsely accuses her of petty theft at a ball. While Connie awaits her undeserved punishment, a ghost appears to offer her a bargain. The spirit is none other than Scarlet Castile, a noblewoman once praised for her beauty, lineage, and undeniable charisma, and executed some 10 years earlier for wicked deeds. When Connie accepts this proposal, she is possessed by the infamous spirit, who instantly turns the tide on her tormentor, thus saving the hapless girl from her miserable fate. It's never wise striking a deal without knowing exactly what you've committed to, though, or you might find yourself bound to a ghost dead set on revenge against her own enemies. Honestly, this is another one of those cases where, like, when I'm reading into this and looking into this, I'm like, okay, there's the whole, like, ballroom, there's the villainous girl, and she gets called out by the prince, and gets charged for something that she didn't do. But then it kind of shifts very quickly into the what's the hook of this particular, you know, villainous type of story. And it seems to be being possessed by an actual villainess. And I think that might actually turn into something interesting. I'm really curious what the chemistry will be between her and this really wicked chick that's going to be possessing her will be. What will end up being this big goal that she has to actually undertake, you know, what revenge that she actually has to take. All that stuff could be really interesting, having this poor little girl get swept up in this big potential war that she wants to enact. But we'll see, we'll see. Moving on to the Darwin incident. Yes, this one. Created in a biological science lab, Charlie is a half-human, half-chimpanzee hybrid known as a human Z. Raised by his adopted human parents, Charlie is now 15 and starting high school. There he meets Lucy, a clever loner who becomes his first ever friend. But his normal life is shattered when an animal rights extremist who freed his mother from the lab 15 years ago reemerges as a terrorist bent on kidnapping Charlie at all costs. This one actually looks extremely intriguing. It has a very unique premise to it. A lot of the aspects of it being a thriller, sci-fi type of show. I'm actually looking to go into this as blind as possible, but I've heard a lot of positive things about the source material, so just I'm keeping it clean. So if anyone in the comments, don't tell me anything. I want to go into this as blind as possible. And for my last one I have is Diary of a Strange Land. The manga centers on 35-year-old novelist Makio Kodai and her 15-year-old niece, Asa, who lived together under one roof. Makio took Asa in on a sudden impulse after Asa's parents, which included Makio's older sister, passed away. The next day, Makio returns to her senses and remembers that she does not do well in the company of other people. So begins their daily life as Makio attempts to acclimate to a roommate, while Asa attempts to get used to an adult that never acts like one. When I watched the PV for this, I had a feeling this was something special. I think the source material actually has very good ratings, but I just got a very kind of homey vibe that I got from the PV, something that was going to be telling me a very compelling story. I was immediately hooked when I seen the PV for this, so I am actually extremely excited for this one. Something to note here is that the creator of this one is Tamako Yamashita, who's the creator behind Night Beyond the Tri-Cornered Window, so if you watch that, there you go. Either way, super hyped for that one. And that's it. For my honorable mentions, of course, I'm extremely excited for Cosmic Princess Kaguya. I didn't put it in my list because it's not a full-on series, it's just going to be a movie. But either way, my gosh, the artists that are going to be working on that one, you know, like Rio of Supercell, Honeyworks, like all these fantastic, phenomenal artists. And yes, visually, extremely gorgeous show. I'm extremely hyped for it. Washed Away looks good as well. I'm just not like super hyped for it. It looks cute. The girl looks cute. She cleans stuff. Apparently she has amnesia. Hopefully it has a decent story there. A pretty good little slice of life romance. Champignons, which I'm cautiously excited for. It looks really good and there's a really good art style to this one, but at the same time, not great overall quality wise. So I'm thinking this one might be like one of those ones that I'll potentially like for the story, but unfortunately not be too well in the animation department, but we'll see. And of course, I'm also looking forward to the G-Gen shows. I'll be checking out Ichigo, Aika, the Strawberry Elegy, the show about the guy who's with a stepsister and they get really, really close. We'll see. Also looking forward to Does It Count If You Lose Your Virginity to an Android. That one just looks like it's going to be a raunchy Yuri show that I'm going to be totally enjoying. So I'll definitely be checking out those as well. But that's it. That's all of my most anticipated shows for the winter 2026 anime season. Of course, I'll be checking out all the shows overall, so definitely stick around here. I'll be doing first impressions of pretty much all of them. If I don't do a dedicated video for them, I'll actually cover them in a tier list live stream, so definitely stick around. If you're not already, subscribe to the channel. Also, within a week or so, we'll be doing a podcast where we'll be going through all the shows of the winter season, so if you want a full breakdown of everything, you can definitely check that out as well. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Hopefully you found it informative. If you did, hit the like button down below. If you like this content and want to support it, become a member. Until next time, take care.